I hope y'all are doing amazing and staying safe and out the way. I wanted to come on and give out some encouragement. God gave me a beautiful word, and I believe it's going to bless a lot of you, all, if not all of you who reads it or who hear it, I should say. But this word is based out of Matthew chapter 14, verse 28 through 32. And it's just the background of it. This is when Jesus is walking on water, right? And when his disciples sees him, while they were in the boat. So let me just give y'all a little background, because right now I'm just like at the exact moment. But this is when Jesus and the disciples had just got done feeding the, thousands of people when Jesus multiplied what was in the basket, the fish and the bread. So after Jesus, the 2-bodied loaves, right? The 2 loaves, 2 fish and the bread. I don't know how many fish there was, but I think it was 2 loaves. I'm not sure. Y'all go look it up. It's in Matthew 14, okay? But it's just when Jesus had just got done feeding the crowd, and now he had told his disciples, to go ahead of him in the boat and to go travel to the other side. So the disciples went ahead and did what Jesus said, got into the boat and started to travel to the other side. And Jesus dismissed the crowd that was there. So after Jesus dismissed the crowd, he went up into the mountain and he prayed and spent some time alone. And I could just imagine him spending time with the Father, right, in prayer. So once Jesus finished praying, he went to go meet the disciples but he did it in a way that shocked the disciples. Jesus didn't come on another boat. He came walking on water. And I feel like God is speaking. So sometimes Jesus in that, and I wasn't even going to go here, but I'm going to go here. And Lord, have your way. Sometimes we're going to think that Jesus is going to do a thing one way, but he may wind up doing things in a different way, in a way that you never expect him to do it, right? In a way that is impossible with man, that truly gives him the glory. Because Jesus could have got on the boat to meet his disciples on that boat, right? Or to meet his disciples, how can I say, on the lake or on the water that they were at, right? Got on another boat and just like paddle to them, right? Or he could have met them literally on the other side, however chose to walk. He could have did it that way. But he did it in a way that was never done before. Jesus, speak, Lord. He did it in a way that was never done before and that was unexpected. The disciples never thought that Jesus was going to walk on the water. That probably wasn't even in their mind. Keep in mind, it says in the Word of God that that his thoughts are bigger than ours. His ways are greater than our ways. So this is so good. So what wound up happening was Jesus, he wound up walking on water while the disciples was in the boat. They just pedaling along the way, but there's also a storm going on. So, I can just imagine them being scared, all of that. And out of nowhere, they see Jesus. However, originally, they didn't think it was Jesus. They said, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. And even in that, thank you, Jesus. You're so good. Sometimes we can mistake what looks like, we can think that things look like, what can I say? Sometimes we can get, how can I say this, Jesus? Make it make sense. It was Jesus walking on the water, but they thought it was a ghost. Sometimes we can misinterpret what is of God, and we can say that it is of the enemy, or we can say that it is of something else, but it's not God, when really it's God. It's Jesus. It's just him doing it his own way. It's a way that he never done it before, and it is also in an uncomfortable way, and it could be scary, because Jesus told them to take courage, I believe, and to not be afraid. So sometimes it can look so like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. What is this? This ain't supposed to look like that. Like, God, this ain't Jesus. This can't be Jesus. However, with that being said, family, Jesus came, and Peter had to ask him. He said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come on the water, right? And Jesus said, come, come. And when he came, Peter got out the boat, and let me just read it, right? It says, Peter got out of the boat, walked on water, and came towards Jesus. I'm going to stop there for a moment, because first of all, he said, Lord, if it's you. Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. Now, think about this. Peter knew how much Jesus loved him, because he knew that Jesus wouldn't call him to walk on water and just to make him fall. He had trust that if this is truly you, God, then you're going to tell me to do it, and I'm going to do it, right? So Peter got out the boat, and he came. He knew Jesus loved him. He knew that Jesus didn't want no harm on him. So he trusted him and did something that no man could do. And Peter was a man. And he walked on the water, following the Lord. So here it is that Peter is walking on water, walking towards Jesus. I could imagine him looking at Jesus, looking at him, ready to just meet him, to meet him. That's his finish line, right? The finish line. Like, if I can just get to Jesus, I'm good. Maybe he was going to hug him. I don't know. But Jesus was his finish line, right? Because there had to have been some distance for him to be able to walk towards Jesus. So with that being said, as he was walking towards Jesus, his eyes must have been fixed on him at some point, because he continues to go. He took steps. He was able to do the impossible. He was able to trust that, okay, I'm looking at him. I can do this. I can do this. And then out of nowhere, the winds and the waves started to blow. It started to get his attention. Now his attention was no longer on Jesus. His attention was no longer on the finish line. Now it was coming up against him, the opposition, the distractions, the things that are trying to take his eyes off of Jesus. Now, instead of his attention being on Jesus, it's now on everything else. And as he loses his sight, or not losing his sight, but take his eyes off of God, he realizes he's starting to drown. Like, he's not drowned, but he's starting to sink. He's starting to go under. And just imagine, Jesus is right there. He probably was almost finished. I don't know how close he was. But the thing was, he started to take his eyes off of God and start looking around. And everything else seemed greater. The storm seems much stronger, and now he's starting to go down. And all he can do is cry out for Jesus to save him. So that's where we're going to start. I have to build it up, though. I didn't even know we were going to go there. But with that, family, that could be exactly where you are right now, where we are right now, right? Maybe God has called you out of that boat of comfort, that comfort boat of, comfort for sure. Comfort is what came to my mind and my heart. Excuse me. But God can be calling you out of maybe a new state, maybe calling you out of a job. I don't know. God can be calling you out of something, right? You ask God what to do, right? And he's telling you, come, it's me, come. So maybe you're still in the boat, about to get ready to step out into the unknown or the impossible, something that you've never done before, but it's God. Or you're already stepped out the boat and you already started taking steps, but now the winds and the waves are starting to take your eyes off of Jesus. Now your eyes is not fixated so much on the promise that God promised you, on what God said, but now it's about, what did he say? What did she say? What did they say? What are people going to think? Like all these things, right? What if they don't like me? What if this? What if that? What if this? What is that? Like all the what ifs. And then another thing, like all the distractions are starting to hit you, oppression, just things. And it's causing you to take your eyes off of God. And you're just now in this place of looking, but aimlessly. Looking aimlessly when you were just had a focus. You just had your eyes on your eyes was aimed. You had a target. And when I say a target, it's not in a bad way necessarily, but you had the end in mind. You had that finish line, but now it's like now we're where we're aiming at. What is it that I'm doing? What is this? What am I doing? Now my focus is not on the finish line. It's not on Jesus. It's not on what Jesus said, but it's on what I'm saying, what people saying, what I don't understand, the distractions, the things that the enemy sent just to get us to take our eyes off of God, to get us distracted. Right? So I'm coming here today. I am here today because I believe that God is wanting you to get back focused. Get back focused on Him. Right now, you might be sinking, sis. You might be sinking, bruh. You might be sinking. We might be sinking. But just like Peter did, he cried out to the Lord, save me. And I would actually challenge you to not just see God saving you, but to, instead of going back into that boat, like they wound up going back into the boat. Because think about this too. Jesus said, what did he say? He said, immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. So Jesus saved him. He said, you of little faith. He said, why did you doubt? Why did you doubt me? So, like I was mentioning just now, what was it? I just had it. But basically is that, oh yeah. So I would challenge you to not get back in the boat, but to continue to have faith. Continue. So good. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so good. Jesus is faithful. I didn't know what I was going to be saying on it. I didn't know the revelation. I didn't know nada. But I'm excited. I'm excited because it blesses me. It is blessing you, girl, okay? With that being said, I'm encouraging you. I'm encouraging us. Don't get back in that boat. Don't get back in that place of comfort. No. But say, Jesus, go ahead, go back out there. You gave me faith. Even if it's a little faith that I have, I'm going to get to you. I'm going to get back on this water. And you literally, God has already lifted you up. I believe this is God lifting you up. We're going to just say it prophetically. He's lifting you up. And you have the decision to go back in that boat, or to say, Jesus, go back out there again. Just go back out there. Don't go too far now, okay? Don't go too far. Go back in the place that you was just at. Not a step back, a step less, or a step more, okay? Go back where you was. Call me again. Here he is calling you. Adriana. And the thing is, though, hold on. Not even that. Because Jesus can go back to the place that he was, but you're not starting completely over. You're starting back from the place where he saved you from. And that is today, right? He's picking you back up. And instead of him saying, ye of little faith, we're like, you know what, Lord? Can you go back out there? All right, I'm going to just stand back. I'm going to just get back up. Thank you for picking me up, Jesus. I'm dusting my lid. Hopefully you got, and I'm humorous, God. Y'all, please don't take me too serious with the humor, because I was just thinking Jesus, he's Jesus. He can do anything. So even though Peter was wet at this time, Jesus can blow on his knees, and his knees and whatever he had on at the time was dry. So, okay, keep going, family. Keep going. Even though Peter was wet at this time, Jesus can blow on his knees, and his knees and whatever he had on at the time was dry. So, okay, keep going, family. Keep going. He called you. Now go. He saved you before. He'll save you again. This time, have faith. Don't doubt. Keep your eyes on Jesus. You're almost at the finish line. I love y'all. God love y'all more. Let's get this win and let's go. Bye.